to all of you? All right. So now I'm going to, we're just commencing. As you know, my name so-and-so, Sudheer Murthy. Now, you have just completed your 10th standard examinations. So it's wonderful to be amongst the young students. I'm passionate. And then, you're going to enjoy your classroom sessions. And it is going to extend as long as you want. Minimum of 20 days. Each day, it can be 1.5 hours, 2 hours, 3 hours, as per your choice and your capacity to sit. I don't want to put pressure on you, but minimum 1.5 hours class will be there. So now, you see, it's going to be an endeavor to encourage you to acquire knowledge of science and mathematics through the process of learning. Okay, you please understand. No studying. You have faith in yourself. Learn in the class. Don't dream. Don't take your mind out of the class. Just be here. Learn aram se. Learning means you have to participate in the class. If you understand, you say yes. If you don't understand, you ask questions. Just relax and enjoy. And don't worry. At the right time, that knowledge will come to you. You don't have to buy it. Okay? Now, education is pursued truly for knowledge and not for grades. This should be the mantra, Moola mantra of your life. Okay? Right. So now, quickly, you see, I have designed a curriculum based on NEP. NEP is National Education Policy, and there you see great minds, great educationists have done intensive research, and they have made a very good suggestion for all the educational institutions to follow. Okay, and I have just taken the gist out of it. Pedagogy must evolve to make education more experiential. That means you should experiment, experience, and learn. Holistic. It should be, all-round development. Integrated, right? So there are different. See now, physics, chemistry, maths, biology. You will soon see that you have to understand everything almost, or you should have the basics of all. Then you can understand everything, right? If you want to understand how the water from the roots, okay, how does it travel to the tip of the tree, a long tree, a big tree, okay? So there is a lot of mechanism and there's a lot of physics involved, right? Like that, chemistry is involved in the photosynthesis, etc. So you see, and even when you want to study the movement of animals, especially cockroach or anything, or a mosquito fly, there is biology, there is chemistry, and there is also physics. So it should be integrated. Inquiry driven. So it should be inquiry driven. Not that, sir, what is the definition? I'll write down, I'll buy it. No. You should accept truth, but nothing but truth. You should, if you are convinced, okay, and then that means you will be convinced only if there is truth and if the truth appeals to you. So you should have the spirit of inquiry. Learner centric. Teacher centric means whatever teacher says, you have to listen. Here, learner centric means, well, you will participate in the class and try to grasp the truth. And then when you are convinced, the class will be gone. Here, teacher is not going to go on talking and writing. He introduces something, and then you have to take it forward by means of Vichara Vinimaya in the class. Discussion based, flexible. Say, I made your timing flexible and relaxed. You can say, sir, wait, sir, we want to learn, etc., etc. Timing can be changed, experiments can be changed, etc. Flexible. Anyway, and most important, you see, NEP lays emphasis on integration of digital technology to be envisaged in all levels of learning through dedicated unit of creating digital infrastructure, digital content, capacity building. You see here, this is the classroom. You can see here, I have got an entire setup to conduct all the experiments for your 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th concerned to physics. I repeat, all. Okay, so this setup, what I have got here, will ensure that I will make you to experiment each and every aspect, and you will experience, you will discuss, and okay, and that's setup. You see, I can conduct approximately 32 experiments at present. It can even be more with that. Camera arrangement is there, so whatever I am going to conduct there will be available on the board, and you are going to conduct it right in the classroom as I am teaching, and I've got a flexible board here. right? So whatever you see there on the experimental setup, you see it on the board. I can analyze it. Anyways, all those things happen. The main idea is to improve classroom process through technological advancement so that no child is left behind. This is important. So usually what happens in a classroom, there will be at least 1 or 2 students who are extremely brilliant, very intelligent. So, they learn by their own. Okay, and for them, this process, fatafat they will understand. They can read the book and almost they can understand, but not everybody. So here I am going to make all efforts to see that every child learns, every child understands. It's not that only the best student understands and all these things. Okay, so be assured, you be sincere and honest, and you will get the knowledge, the skills that is for which you are due. Your efforts are due. Schools and colleges are expected to design and follow. In fact, schools and colleges are expected to design the curriculum according to NEP. Unfortunately, I have not come across any school or college which is following this, because they cannot have this setup for various reasons. But you and me are lucky. I am lucky as a teacher that God has given me everything here to do my job very well. And you are lucky because you are really lucky because you're going to learn all this in the right manner. And trust me, this sort of a setup you will find in best schools in the world, which is very, very costly, very expensive. All right, and here you have it. And thanks all of you for coming, and I will thank the Almighty for everything that's happened. All right, let's keep going. Now, till 10th standard NEP was sufficient, but now you see there are 2 boards. One is NEP, National Education Policy, and there is a curriculum set up by the central board for your education, 11th and 12th standard. But at the same time, you are all going to write competitive exams, NEET, JEE Mains, KVPY, CET, etc. Okay. Now, NEET and JEE Mains are conducted by NTA, National Testing Academy. They have prescribed the syllabus, that is 11th and 12th standard CBSE syllabus. That is the syllabus for it. And if you see, most of the questions are asked directly from the textbook. But directly means it is not, if you study and by heart, you will not be able to answer. If you have understood every sentence, then that understanding is, they will test by means of asking very nice, intelligent questions. Questions which need intelligence to be answered. That is the examination. So classroom sessions are best suited for students who aspire to be good. So that's how the classroom sessions are going to be for the 11th and 12th. And you see, the classroom sessions are carefully designed to integrate teaching, coaching, training, and education that is best suited for 11th and 12th. Well, I have designed a program for physics. That means students who aspire for NEET, for JEE Mains, and CET, they can come and attend these classes for physics, and the curriculum I have designed is suited for all. Okay, you will be able to crack all these 3 examinations, and this will be best suited for students who are aspiring in the competitive examinations like JEE Main, NEET, CET, etc. Aspiring to excel in board, you will also do very well in board examinations. Aspiring to excel in professionals, to be professionals in the future. One acquires, this is most important, you will acquire a scientific mindset. Andra, whatever you do, kuch bhi karo, yena madu. You will think, reason properly. If there are theories and rules, established rules, facts, you will take into consideration and take decisions. So that will become imbibed in you if you learn science properly with this sort of an arrangement. Right? Okay, that's very important. You will be a good decision maker irrespective of the profession that you choose. Trust me, this is going to happen. I have got 30 years of experience, both as an engineering college teacher, as a teacher of high school, as a teacher of college. I have trained many students for the advanced IIT, NEET, etc. And I have also been an engineer, a practicing engineer, and I am going to give you all my experience. And with all experience, I am going to tell you, if you learn 11th and 12th science properly, okay, then don't worry. Whichever profession you are going to choose in your future, you will be successful. All right. So now, quick, you have learned quite a bit of science and physics in your high school. I'll just give you the gist of what you are supposed to learn and what you have done. Science is a systematic endeavor that builds and organizes knowledge in the form of testable explanations and predictions about the universe. Now just watch it out. Science is a systematic endeavor, means it is not a textbook. It is not something that is written in the skies. It's an endeavor, it's your effort that builds and organizes the knowledge. See, why does this fall down? You know, it is because of gravity. So there are many phenomena that is taking place in the universe. You will get the knowledge of all those things. Why moon is revolving around Earth, why it is not falling, but why will an apple fall down? Very simple. So you have to have the knowledge to explain this. Okay? So science is a systematic endeavor that builds knowledge. So you must develop an attitude for systematically, you have to endure systematically and start acquiring the knowledge in the form of testable explanation. You see, if you say I have got the knowledge, then I can test whether you have the knowledge, or you can test the knowledge itself. If I say this is going to fall because of gravity, well, you have to experiment and find out, yes, gravity is the reason why this is going to fall, or gravitational force is effective, right? Now I'm going to conduct some experiments and then prove that there is gravity, right? So you can see now I can rotate a bucket of water. I will do that for you. So when the bucket of water is here, if I keep the bucket of water and invert it, water is going to fall down. Why? Loud.
Because of gravity.
Because of gravity. Now I will tie a string to that bucket and rotate it. So when the bucket is here, the water is not falling. So you need gravity for the water to fall. But when it is rotated, the water is not going to fall. I suppose you understood what I said, right? So supposing I have a bucket of water. Okay, I have a bucket of water. Water is there. So if I just keep a bucket of water, it is going to fall down because of gravity. Okay. Now, if this bucket of water, okay, is rotated with certain speed v, then it is not going to fall. So now, is there any gravity when it is here?
Yes, sir.
Then why is it not falling? I will explain that. So you can very well see that I have removed the effect of gravity. So there is an anti-gravity that I have created. I will explain how it happens. Don't worry. So that convinces me that, you know, gravity is a force and its characteristics are so and so, etc. And that is what I say is the knowledge. All right. So now physics is a natural science. You see, it's not created. It's not created. It's not invented. It's available around you. Sky is blue. Physics will explain. Early morning it is orange. Sunset is orange. Why? Science will explain to you. Rainbows are formed. Science will explain to you. You ask anything around you which is happening, right? You can relate it to some natural phenomena, and there is explanation of science. Okay? It's a science that studies matter. We study matter. Its fundamental constituents. You go to study matter and its fundamental constituents. Already you know atom and all, molecules. Its motion. It's very interesting. You see, planets are evolving systematically. Things are happening systematically around you. Many things you can watch. And behavior through the space and time and the related entities of energy and force. See, all this is encompassed. Whatever physics you have studied so far, you can see all these are there. Nothing more than this. I repeat, nothing more than this. It's all revolving around matter, its properties, motion, space, time, energy, force. Itna hi. Sadhane, up to 12th standard, this is sufficient. Whatever you have studied so far is around this, and whatever you are going to study in 11th and 12th is also around this. Nothing more than this. It's not a myth or something or like that. Physics is one of the most fundamental scientific disciplines. It is most fundamental. Amongst all the scientific principles, it is fundamental. Because one of the things, there is an argument on that. One of the things is, physics has given this world how to measure. And we use measurement. Everybody uses measurement. Okay? And its main goal is to understand how the universe behaves. उसका goal है how universe is. You should not make it why are you going to learn physics because I have to score in marks and become a doctor, become an engineer, become that, this and a teacher and all. No, it's just to enjoy. So I enjoy learning physics, and then if somebody asks you about physics, you tell. And if you answer better, you will get better marks. That's it. Right? Students are trained to understand. So what I am doing here is you will be made to understand the laws of physics, the relation that is happening between various entities, and build theories. I repeat, you are not going to now by heart some theory. You are going to experiment, experience, and you are going to build the theory in the classroom. Light falls on an object. Now tell me very carefully. Light falls on an object. What happens?
The light is reflected.
Light is reflected. Okay.
Or absorbed.
Or absorbed. What else? Light falls on an object. May get refracted. Why all the three will not happen? If light falls on a glass slab, have I not shown you that? I have shown you reflection. I have shown you absorption. I have shown you refraction. Everything is happening. Isn't it? So you missed out. So that's the strength of observation. You cannot give incomplete answers. Alright. Anyways, so you will be made to build the theories. And when you build theories, you are going to learn a lot. Your brain is getting sharpened. And your questions in the examinations are based on how well you have built the theory. Of course, with the help of the teacher and the textbook. And your efforts. So remember, you should not simply take things for granted. Every step you have to understand, and you will be asked questions on this. These aspects become the basis for designing questions in the competitive exams. Watch out. How will the teacher design a exam question? Question paper was very tough. Must question was asked. Very good question was asked. How did the teacher design? She, a good teacher, would have taught many students theories, and the teacher knows how well the students have observed and understood. Now, just like now you said, it reflects, somebody told it refracts, somebody told it absorbs, but nobody told all the three happens. And many more things can happen with light. You're going to learn diffraction, interference, dispersion. All these phenomena can happen when light falls on an object. Right? And all of them, some of them can happen simultaneously. So that's the depth to which you're supposed to take your mind. Now, flashing an answer, knee-jerk answers, not accepted. Right? A theory is well-substantiated explanation. What is a theory? A theory is a well-substantiated. Substantiated means it is based on experiments. It's based on the understanding that you get from the experiment. Substantiated explanation of an aspect of the natural world that can incorporate laws, hypotheses, and facts. The theory of gravitation, for instance, explains why apple falls from trees and astronauts float in the space. That is the theory. So theory will explain all this. All right. So just a brief. In high school, what did you learn? The idea of high school, that is 8, 9, 10th high school. Okay. Now 11th and 12th, you categorize as higher secondary. This is secondary. So it intends to introduce physics as a subject, develop scientific temperament. Okay, I think you can read this. If you are done, you tell me. All right. Yeah. So this is most important. Vertical alignment. That means now your actual science has started from 7th standard. You learned something in 7th. You have experienced it. Again in 8th, you are going to learn more of that. Right? So you have to be now aware. That means now your 8th, 9th, 10th becomes the basis for your 11th and 12th. So if you say I have forgotten and go to your 11th standard, you are a gone case. You are a gone case. Because as I told you, you are going to learn a lot. You had just a textbook of 400 pages. How much? 250 pages of physics, chemistry, biology. Now you will have only physics of 500 pages. And very concentrated. chemistry 500, mathematics 500. That's only for board I am telling you. You multiply it by 3 if you are going to go for the competitive exams. So that many pages you have to learn, and the time available is whatever time was available in your 10th standard. It is not cheap. The number of school hours, the number of hours per day is not cheap. So you have to be very, very, very effective and efficient learners. Alright, and you have this, the system is based on vertical alignment. And physics is a monument of concepts, so you have to have very good conceptual clarity, and then you will have problem solving abilities. Okay? Okay. Okay, I have just taken a clipping from your textbook. This is all that you have studied. You have studied description of motion, forces, all this. I think in the top you have studied in your 8th standard, or you might not have studied because of revised syllabus, right? And then of course I have mixed both state and CBSE, right? And this is what you would have studied in your 9th standard. Am I right?
Yes.
Hello. And gravitation you have studied in the 9th standard, and again state and CBSE, etc. These are all the topics that you are studied in depth in your 8th, 9th, or you are supposed to study. Only mechanics I have 4. And your teacher is going to teach you in 11th standard immediately the higher version of this. And you cannot complain, sir, we have forgotten Newton's law, God save you. Sir, we didn't understand that subject was not done in your school. You are a gone case. Nobody is going to help you, because your teacher is just going to start the class because his objective is to ensure that you are prepared for competitive exam. Most of the colleges or coaching institutes will go with the training sessions. They should be teaching, coaching and training. Teaching is all about, imparting knowledge, helping you to gain knowledge, process of learning. Coaching is enhancement of knowledge. Knowledge begets knowledge. Enhanced knowledge. In-depth knowledge. That is coaching. Training is all about skillfully using the knowledge to solve the problems. Right? And also develop the right temperament and attitude. So teaching, coaching, training has to happen simultaneously or in proper structure. But the time available in the college, 11th and 12th, is just for any one of them. So either the teacher can teach or coach and train. Not 3. So that means now that if you go to the institute where they are going for, there's a coaching and training institute, basically. Then they expect you to learn and come. And if you say, no sir, I don't know, then they will not have time to teach. So therefore, you better be learned and go. Or you go to a college where they teach and then they coach. Then go to such college. Okay, so up to you. Anyways, so this is as far as mechanics is concerned. So in this program, PU Booter, we will revisit all the above topics, understand better, and strengthen the fundamentals and move forward. That is precisely what I am going to do in the initial stage. Of course, I am going to teach at a higher level. I am not just going to stop at the school level. You can see what I am going to do. So other than what? Mechanics, you have studied light, you have studied sound, you have studied heat. Am I right? I included atom in physics because you are going to understand atom first, molecule first from physics perspective. It is not actually chemistry. Once atom and molecule is formed, their interaction, then comes the purview of chemistry. So atoms and molecules are best taught by physicists, and I am going to help you to learn. This program will try and revisit all about it and understand better, strengthen this. Alright, I am giving you all. And these are the topics that are listed for your NEET and mains. Have a look. And I have shown those arrows just to convince you that the syllabus for CET, NEET and JEE mains are same. And you are going to study all these topics, right, in 2 years, in depth. Okay? Right? And you got in mains one more section, experimental skills. So they will be asking questions on your experimental skills. You watch out. So that means now if you have not learned by experimentation, then 1 or 2 questions you are going to cook, and that's going to be very costly. right? So I have given you a good bird's view of what is in store for you, and just gear up and start learning. Of course, I'll show you a chart there. It's kept at the corner. So you will see there all the topics for 11th and 12th and the equations. So you will be deriving as many as around 30 into 5, around 100 and 150, close to 150 equations you are going to derive, and they become fundamental equations for forming the equations for solving the problems. I mean, these are fundamental equations, but using those you are going to derive more equations in the examination hall. It is called as formulating the problem. Alright, so you are going to derive all those equations. Alright friends, right.
Who has scored 69 out of 70 in the second year PU annual examination held in March 2020. She has written 40 pages and no unnecessary gaps, and she has managed to answer 2 plus 3, 5, 5 plus 5, 10 questions more. That is, she has answered 80 marks question in the allotted time, and she has lost 1 mark in question number 28. That's it. And you have to see the way she has written very carefully, and your answer sheets must also be like this.
This is board paper, written in the board, not a test or something. This is how your examinations were, much tougher than what it was before.
The way she has written the answers,
see,
very meticulous,
no scratching, and everything perfect.
Everything to perfection.
E-bar
What was told
dot
and
ds bar.
trained in the class, she has been able to replicate it in the examination. You can see here that T5E E bar dot ds bar. You see, in most of your answers, these bars are missing. And wherever graphs are necessary, wherever the equations are necessary, and then whatever variable she has used, she has described. She has not left any scope for the examiner to cut any marks. See how meticulous. And this has all happened during the examination time. Okay, I want you to have a glimpse of this. She has not left any gap between. See, she has completed this question, just one line, and she has started the next answer. This is as per the instructions of the PU code. Okay, and still it has taken 40 pages of answer. You can go through this in slow motion and read, in fact, learn from this answer sheet. Even parents who are watching, please motivate your children to, write like this. Very, very neatly written.
Most of the concepts you are studying, you are
the figures, and see, she has not left it to the examiner. Q1, Q2, everybody knows it is charges, but she has written 2-point charges.
see,
Are distance between Q and Q. See, this is how I keep telling you to write in the examination. This is how it is presented in the textbooks, but you fail to capture that and you forget to write on this. So you must appreciate this answer sheet. This is for your reference.
full of vectors, meaning electricity, which you are supposed to master in your 8, 9, 10.
See, here are analysis. Neatly partitioned, written correctly here. Okay? And she has marked the keywords here. Okay? So you can see that it is so easy for the examiner to read, understand, and award marks. Wherever mathematical symbol is necessary, the mathematical formulation, she has written the formulation. Look at the diagrams. So neat, so tidy. She has not given any scope for the exam. See, the diagram. Okay, she has marked this directed line segment. I don't find this in most of her answer sheets. There is no directed line segments. She would have been cut 1 mark. Well, this cyclotron is not there for this year's syllabus. Very important concept. And I remember this particular question had also appeared in one of the preliminary examinations way back in 2013-14. And one of your senior most students, Srinivas Meherwadi, had written it so beautifully. I still remember to have corrected that. And today, he is 4th in All India AIMS medical ranking for PG. I repeat, 4th rank All India in the medical PG entrance examination. See, the students who wrote science so nicely means they have understood science properly. They have passion for learning, and such students definitely excel in different formats of examination.
Please watch my words very carefully. Okay. Now, here, see this question, where the student has lost 1 mark. I have given you this definition, but not so, I didn't stress upon that. What is 1 ampere? When and very long straight parallel conductor. See the condition. इसमें एक condition miss होता है 1 mark will be cut. Carrying steady current. Steady हो गया, steady current on बरेली बरे current बराबर होत marks 1 mark. Equal current, steady and equal current separated by unit distance exert force of 2 into 10 to the power -7 Newton per meter. Okay, per unit length on each of the other currents flowing in the connector, then it is said to be 1 ampere. When this force is acting between the two. Look, everything is perfect, but still the teacher has cut 1 mark. Why? Instead of writing, the distance between the two should be, yes, you should have written 1 meter distance between the two. The student has written unit distance between the two. 40 pages, no scratch, and the teacher has cut 1 mark. Now appreciate the teacher. Examiner who has evaluated this. He's read this paper so keenly and he has found that small mistake and mercilessly cut 1 mark. So you see, if you want to earn every mark, if you want to score above 90, how meticulous you have got to be. And that will not come in a day. You should practice it every day. Nimda tanu mana complete. You must immerse yourself in the pursuit of knowledge, and you should work to become perfect like this at every day, every minute of your life. Then you can reach this. And this student was meticulous. She has scored more than 685 marks in her NEET exam. Right? And you see, I told you, she is excelled in the AIMS, in the PG entrance examinations. Fully merit. So this is the hallmark. If your science is strong, then any format of examination in life you can face any test. And you should write like this. Hello. Kacha 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 barudalla. Anyways, I will make sure that you will be trained like this, and I'll be very strict with you if at all you continue to be my students. And there is another student who has written, but anyway, there is no time. I will not keep on showing. Right. So, clear? Now I am just giving you overall like how you should prepare your mind, how you have to change your mind for the future. And my training program will include all these things. Alright, so in high school, students are supposed to have learned elementary classical mechanics and quantum mechanics. Now in 11th standard classical quantum mechanics and 11th standard, 12th standard quantum field theory and relativity. So you see, now mechanics itself, what you have learned is some part of classical mechanics. So if you are perfect in classical mechanics, then you are going to learn quantum mechanics, quantum field theory and relativity, to some extent relativity mechanics. Understand? So if you are perfect here, then you can understand these things. Otherwise, God's it. Okay, so that's how things start changing. This is vertical alignment. Understand? So if you go to 11th standard without all this not properly understanding classical mechanics, then you cannot understand it. See, you saw the electricity, R cap, electrostatic forces, full of vector symbols. And now, non-standard examinations, they will not teach vectors and they will not insist you write with vectors. Because it is difficult for students to understand and very difficult for teachers to make sure children learn. But if you are already tuned in that fashion, then you can easily grasp what the teacher is telling. It is very easy. And you can read standard textbooks in physics like Dr. XII Verma, etc. if you are perfect with the fundas. And I am going to make sure that in PU Booter, all those things are ready, and I will ask all of you to purchase XII Verma, Dr. XII Verma textbook, and you start reading. So your at least few chapters of that you would have read before you step into your levels. Alright? Yeah. Alright, so here, at this stage it is very important to be aware of the situation that you are all going to be in when you step into 11th standard. You must be perfect with classical mechanics of high school classical mechanics. That is very, very important. That's why I am going to stress upon that in your PU Booter program. Classical mechanics is fundamental to the entire physics and also the chemistry. Thank you. So we will begin on classical mechanics. Alright. Now, I have developed around 15 sessions. Each session is 1.5 hours. And I am only listed 15 here. I have prepared more than 30 sessions. But at least in this PU Booter, I will try to cover all this. Now what you have to understand is, the first session I am already in process. So I have listed what are the things that I am going to talk, as already spoken about this. In the second session, I am going to make sure that you become very sensitive. Object, body, particle. There are 3 different things. And if you use something for something, then you will not get, you are doing wrong signs. Where you have to use particle, you should use particle. Where you have to use object, you have to use object. And where you have to use body, you have to use body. And then you should understand what is the meaning of properties, matter, material, photon, and physical quantities. Perfectly. ಈಗ 10th standard body object body L बेकर particle चलता था, मार्क्स मिलता था, लेकिन अभी नहीं मिलेगा, because the whole physics will change. When you apply force to a body, what will happen? You apply force to a body, what will happen? And if you apply force to a particle, what will happen?
If unbalanced force is applied,
loud, and I want you to answer loudly. Yes, please.
If unbalanced force is applied, it will if the net force is more than if the net force is not zero, it will experience
acceleration. Now you see body and particle. For body and particle. Now if I apply force to this, can you see this? Right? You can see I kept some body here. Now if I apply force, you can see it is moving like this, right? So if I apply force like this, what's happening? It is rotating. Well, these are very important things. A particle will not rotate, but a body, what will happen to a body if you apply force?
It may or may not.
Okay, he said it may or may not rotate. So what will happen to a body if you apply force? Okay, he said some answer.
I can say.
So it depends on the nature of the body.
Nature of the body.
And the kind of force applied.
Kind of force. So different forces will have different effects. No, all are wrong answers. Not for, he is okay. See, when you apply force to your body, it can rotate when the net force is not zero. Then it can rotate, or it will only translate, or it will only rotate, or it will do both. I'll explain that in my next class. So you see, your answer should be enriched. It should not be ambiguous and incomplete. Anyways, you will understand the difference when I conduct the experiment. Okay, right. See, this is experiential learning. I can experiment it. I have got the setup cameras. You will see it on the screen, and you will enjoy, right? And you will learn better. Your conceptual clarity will be good. Thanks to the great engineers who have designed all this. Now, I will conduct activities and make you to understand these things. So third, you will understand the concept of particle, motion of etc., space, reference, time, etc. And then position vector. You can see I have listed many concepts. Okay, each will be treated as a concept, and you are going to learn. Okay, so that is the way you are going to learn. Experimental setup is there. You will experiment it here. A couple of you will come and experiment it, and that whole thing will be captured on a camera. It will come here on the screen. We will analyze it on the screen, and you are going to enjoy that. Okay, see, I am going to teach you at a slightly higher level. So I am not just going to end up with force. You can see here tension, contact force, acceleration. See something like position vector. Then you can see centripetal force, resolution of vectors. Then I'm going to make sure that you start using vectors and learn mechanics, so that great textbooks, good textbooks in physics, you can easily learn and digest. Okay, students? Okay. So you can just see the list. It's only 15, but I have prepared for more than 30 classes. But depending upon your time and availability, I will take the classes forward. Okay? Correct. So if you have any questions to ask. So there is still time. You can ask whatever you feel like asking, you ask. Now don't hesitate. Now you are my friends. Okay? I told you. All of you are my good friends. Except I will not allow you to put your hands on my shoulders, and no high-tech jokes. That apart, you are my friends. So feel free. Ask. What do you want to ask about this program, etc. You can ask. Loud.
In 10th and as you told, like lessons are more, but the time is same for us in 10th and now. So like in 10th, we were able to cope up because we have got lot of time, but now like we will be able to cope up.
If you develop the habit of learning, then you will be able to cope. But if you are in the habit of studying, then you will not cope. Because there is nothing to study here. It's all about learning. So if you learn properly, then you will get knowledge. And that's it. So you should fill your brain with knowledge. That's it. For that you should do effort. You should not try to by heart. See, these sentences and all will automatically come. See, how much ever you by heart, you in examination you will miss 1 or 2 words. But if you experiment and you have intensely, concentrated, observed, not seeing, then when the question is asked, you will see. See, for example, now what is 1 ampere? Consider 2 straight parallel conductors separated by 1 meter distance, carrying steady current. Steady equal current. See, this is the condition. So any definition will have a body like this. First condition. Everything in this world is conditional. All the laws are conditional. Condition. Then there exists a force of 2 into 10 to the power of -7 Newton per every meter. And then we say the current in the wires are equal to 1 ampere. So you see many things, and then modulus F bar is equal to all that equation we write. So you see, if you by heart, if you study 10 times, you will miss out something here. Then you will lose marks because the whole physics will change. Understand? So you have to make it very, very explicit. Nothing is implicit, and that only by studying you will not get. If you experiment, experience it. So when the question is asked, this student was trained to imagine. So the moment the question is asked, in front of the student's eyes, she saw 2 conductors, 2 big, long, straight conductors. And then she saw current passing through it. And then looking at it, she wrote everything. Looking at that through her mind's eye, she was able to write. And that's how the answers are written. So you should develop this habit. If you don't develop this habit, then it is going to be humongous. Okay, that's it. So I have been insisting from 10th standard to all of you that you should become learners, but many of you did not listen to me. You exam means previous day you wanted off. Why? You wanted to read that 5 pages. So for your test, some 5 pages syllabus was there. That 5 pages you want to read it 50 times. So you wanted holiday previous examination. That itself shows that you are all not learners. You were only, students who wanted to study. And without understanding something, you should not go to the higher level. But some of you were in the habit of doing something without understanding this properly. And in examination, you said, I got confused and all. Nothing. In physics, there is nothing to confuse. It's only that you have not understood it properly and you did not have the proper mindset at the examination to write it. That's all. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay? So that's it. Anything else? Good. Aryan always begins asking questions. Anything else? Yes, louder.
Where should we invest our time? Like college also they give us certain, we must copy down something notes and all, we must.
Usually, that's why you don't go to such colleges where they dictate notes. I don't dictate notes. Why should you dictate notes? What is there? You have got a textbook. Everything is written there. It is very easy for a teacher to spend time in the class by dictating notes. The teacher tells you to bring a very good textbook and he follows the textbook. I follow the NCERT textbook. So I will go word by word in the NCERT textbook and try to explain that, make sure you have learnt. And there is something more to what I have to do in the NCERT textbook. What the textbook has written is basically, they have treated very clearly underlined. Textbook should not be treated as a prescription. It is a guideline for students and teachers like what to learn, how much to learn. What to learn and how much to learn. That is precisely the idea of the textbook. So the teacher will emphasize some things are not very clearly mentioned in the textbook, or some things has to be elaborated, or something is a misprint. For example, you see your 10th standard textbook, the commutator part was wrongly printed and it was printed 4 times. So that is where the teacher comes into play, and then I showed you an actual motor. I made it rotating. You saw splittering. Otherwise, it's difficult to draw things on the board and explain. So if you go to a good college where the teacher makes sure that you have learned, then you will not have the burden. But if the college is involved in only dictating notes, then God save you. Okay, because time should be spent for discussion in the class. And then once you have learned the concept, then the conceptual clarity. That means by way of numericals. Some numericals, very good numericals should be chosen and discussed in the class. And then good numericals should be given as homework, simple homework. Per subject, say half an hour, 40 minutes homework. And then you should do it sincerely, and the next day the teacher should discuss. Then it is possible. It's not going to be difficult. Unless either you or the teacher or both of you make it difficult. Okay. Anything else?
So, which book should we read at what time?
Yes, first is NCERT textbook. That is, you see the toppers. I'll show you some clippings. I think in Google you will find. The topper in NEET, most every year, he will tell, NCERT textbook is the Bhagavad Gita, the Bible, the Quran. And I just went through that. But you go to most of the colleges, they will say, it's not good book. They will not allow you. They will bring some book, some other book, some notes. Why? I don't understand. They will say in this book this is not given. Okay, you give. So whatever if the teacher dictates notes, it should be an appendment to what is written in the textbook. Say something is not given clearly, or you want to elaborate. For that part, the teacher can dictate notes. And of course, with me, I will not even dictate notes. It's available on the screen. And I'm going to give you this video of whatever I have taught in the class. And then you can pause the video and you can see it any time that you want. So even in my class, if you have dozed a bit, I will not allow you to doze, but then this video is available to you. So you can always go through that. And so you must use technology as and when. So you should make effective and efficient. So whatever 6 hours time you get at home, you should be very effectively and efficiently spent. Don't worry, I will train you. You come and tell me like this is my issue. I will guide you as to how to handle this issue. Okay? I have got good experience. I will help you. Yes, good that you are asking questions.
Sir, like
Louder.
You follow the right order, sir, like from the first lesson, or you can start from.
No, you should not. See, these textbooks, I'll tell you, you should enjoy learning. So you could take a novel and start reading from second chapter. What will you understand?
So,
Okay.
no, sir,
Huh.
my question was like PUC second year's like part 1 book, it starts from electricity.
Huh.
So we have already learned electricity in 10th. So can we start from there?
No, don't do that. Because right now, you see, you have not learned classical mechanics. You have not learned, isn't it? Can you tell me what is mass?
So mass is the measure of inertia.
Loud.
Mass is the measure of inertia.
Excellent. Mass is the measure of inertia. What do you mean? Explain.
So, like,
Loud.
So the mass is the
Mass is the measure of inertia is what he says. And I'm asking him to explain. Explain.
So, like mass says how much the object can resist the motion or
Mass says.
mass is the property that determines.
Mass is the property. Now you only told mass is the measure of inertia. No, you explain that. What do you mean by inertia?
So inertia is the property that resists the object, resists the tendency of the object to move or to be entered.
Move. Resist the tendency of object to move.
So to change the state of motion.
See, you are, whenever I prompt you, you are correcting your answer. That's good. But first time only you should tell correctly. So it said inertia, mechanical inertia. Now you see I have to make it more specific. Because you will have inertia in electricity. You will have inertia in magnetism. So here it is mechanical inertia. So mechanical inertia is the property of a material to resist or oppose the change of motion. That means because of inertia it retains motion. Alright. Now, is mass of a body constant?
No, sir.
Why?
Because when an object is moving with the speed of light, then the mass of the
Yes, good. When it's moving, no object can move at the speed of light.
But if it moves near to the
Near to the speed of light, then its mass is changing. So it is m is equal to m naught divided by root of 1 minus v square upon c square, isn't it? So the mass of a body will be m naught divided by root of 1 minus v square upon c. V is the velocity of the body, speed of the body. C is the speed of the light. So you see that as the body's speed increases, then you see the lower quantity. You can see that if V becomes equal to C, then the denominator becomes 0. M naught by 0 is infinity. So the mass of the body becomes infinite. Okay. Now even V is substantially large. Then also you can see M is increasing. But if V is 0, then M is equal to M naught. So what is M naught? M naught becomes what? The rest mass. That is when the body is at rest. Okay. So you are going to learn in this step, and for you it is very difficult. Mass means matter. If body starts moving, how matter will increase? No, that is where you are going. Okay. If the body is at rest, then you measure the matter. That means you are measuring the inertia of the body. You measure the amount of matter, then you are measuring the inertia. But while in motion, it is different. Understood now? So it's not constant. Now you see there is something called as photon. Photons rest mass is 0. But while it is moving, then it has got some mass. I'll explain that all of this. So you have to start learning at this step. So the introduction to all these things, is given very properly in standard textbooks. So you should read from beginning. Okay, and even though say some pages you feel you have understood, then read it fast. Read it fast. Okay, that's all. If you feel I already know it, just read it fast and keep going. That's the art of reading. Somewhere where you feel you have to dig into and learn more, you spend more time. Some points you say, well, I have understood, then you move fast. There's no hard and fast rule that you can vary the speed, just like driving. If the road is clear, full throttle. But if there is crowd or traffic, then you have to be careful. So that's all very simple that you have to follow. But don't worry. See, even though I have told you all these things to be done, there are thousands and thousands, by lakhs of students who are able to learn all these things. And you are much better than many of the students. So you can do. Don't be afraid. But if you do systematically, it is easy. If you make it, and see, usually students they take it for granted for first 2-3 months. And then they become serious. And then it is difficult. So don't make it. See, that's why I am starting this PU booter program. Booter means your computer boots. So I am already making, see, when the computer boots only, then only it is ready for opening any application. Otherwise, it's a waste thing. Same thing. I am booting you so that you are ready to be used, right? And I will make sure that you are ready. Don't worry. Okay? Right. Anything else? ಕೇಳ ಬೇಜಾರು ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಡ. ಏನಿಲ್ಲ? ಹಾಂ, ಏನದ ಡೌಟ್ ಅದ? ಓಕೆ. ಹಾಂ, now timing issue. So friends, thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow. Right? Bye.